Hi, Professor Hudak. It's me, Jennifer, and I'm here to talk to you about what my personal dreams and aspirations are. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to have different experiences that allowed me to see different cultures and different places, and so I was always surrounded by a great support system. My family is very big and we're pretty close, so after high school, I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do. I was lost. I decided to go ahead and get a job waiting tables, and I thought that was going to be it for me. I understand I was young and I had time, but I was not hanging out with the best crowd per se. I was kind of just somewhat floating by, not living, just existing, and again, trying to find my way. At times, I felt like I was stuck in a rut, and I knew I had potential, but I did not know what I wanted to do. Again, I was in high school. But at that moment, I sort of felt like I was on my own, and I had to think about where I saw myself in the next 10 years, and if I was just going to be waiting tables or working towards making a difference in the world. A few years later, I had an experience where it was actually an awful lesson that I had to go through to learn. Unfortunately, I was hanging out with a friend of mine and we got pulled over. Some illegal activity was happening and we were both arrested. Now, you know that I'm from New York State, and in New York, the laws regarding illegal actions are pretty steep. Also, I've never really told anybody about this story. It's my past, and I sometimes would like to leave it there, but I do understand now that it has made me into who I am today. After I was arrested, I sat in jail for 2 days, and during that time, I got to think about everything that was going on in my life. What did I want to do? I was very fortunate that things shook out with the case. The charges were dismissed, so I don't have anything on my record, but during that time, I definitely had a aha moment, meaning I thought about what I wanted to do. I actually saw myself outside of my own body. I was surrounded by different women during that time who were incarcerated, and they were all involved in the system, but after hearing their stories, I realized some were there for the right reasons and some were there for the wrong reasons. A few women were at the wrong place at the wrong time, like myself, and some actually did commit crimes and needed to be held accountable. Either way, I realized, wow, I want to help others who don't belong here. I feel that I can relate to other women who are in here that don't deserve to be. So at that time, instead of being so hard on myself, I decided I wanted to encourage others and I wanted to gain knowledge of the system to be able to defend them and others around the world. I realized, you know what? It's never too late to start rebuilding. And I thought about where I wanted to go in my life. When I was released, I immediately signed up for classes at a school called Brighton Stratton, and it was for a paralegal program. I was hard on myself. It was really challenging, and I thought, wow, it may be too late. But it wasn't. I started the classes and I started making connections on campus and I started getting feedback from my assignments, and I thought, wow, you can make a difference and here's your second chance. So I proceeded to finish the 12-month course, and then I moved on to a community college to take a few criminal justice classes. I ended up graduating with the associates in liberal arts with criminal concentration. That spring, I finally felt, I could enter the workforce. But instead, I went ahead and challenged myself. I applied to the university to see if I would even get in. So I did that. I applied here to Penn State Lehigh Valley, and I was accepted. Now, I know you're wondering why or how come I chose corporate communication instead of something to do with law, but while I was here, I learned I would still have to choose a background, a bachelor's program then you're able to apply to law school to become an attorney. So at that time, I went with corporate communication, and I learned a lot about the major, and I continued my journey. Now that I've told you about my past and my background and what lessons I encountered to get here, I can explain to you my dreams. I see myself as another graduate obtaining my bachelor's, but I'm now taking the steps to sit down for my LSAT, which is being administered in November. I would like to obtain the best score that I can possibly get without the stress of my coursework and really tapping into myself to make it happen the right way. After I receive my score, I'm interested in applying to the Penn State University School of International Affairs up at University Park. I actually spoke with the dean. They were here at Lehigh Valley speaking to students about a merger program where you're able to obtain your master's in international affairs and also your judicial doctorate in 3 years. It's a wonderful program, and I've been in contact with them daily to see where I'm at and what I can do to hopefully obtain this goal. It sounds like an amazing program, and I'm hoping to be able to utilize both my international communication, those skills to help those in need, and not just be here in our hometown, but everywhere around the world. I believe that I can get there. I know that it's going to take persistence, perseverance, and grit. Do you remember our TED Talk? I have taken the steps to become a part of a women's organization outside of school, and it's called BW Nice. I'm actually going to be interning with them over the summer, and I'm working with a few women in the organization as my bosses, but one woman, Dr. Minsky, she's a success coach and mentor. Her and I have spoken about goals and how we can achieve them. And in the future, I do see myself as a professional with a background in a few different areas, working with others to help unite people from all over the world in different areas, specifically law. The Penn State University Organization and Alumni Association will also play a big part in achieving this dream. I would like to stay in the Penn State system because I believe we have the biggest alumni in the country, and I'm glad to become a part of that. The culture here is amazing. It's very vibrant, loving, and diverse. My everyday behaviors are getting up and getting into those books. I'm also interested in making connections and finding others who have been on this journey and helping to pull each other up. Characters in my imaginary workplace would consist of someone as a protector. I want to protect myself, and I want to protect others. These dreams are on my mind daily. I sleep, breathe, eat, you name it. As Steve Jobs said, stay hungry, stay foolish. And that's what I plan to do. I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to listen to what I believe is important, our dreams and aspirations. Thank you.